Good morning, everyone. Today we'll be discussing resonance in AC series circuit. AC series circuit, which consists of resistance, inductance, and capacitance, given a supply of voltage V and a variable frequency. So when you go on varying the frequency, at a given frequency, the circuit exhibits a special characteristics which is known as resonance. So today we'll be discussing that special characteristics, resonance in the given circuit, and we'll be discussing about the variation of the different parameters with respect to frequency, plus the special characteristics, why the resonance is so important, and we'll discuss also about the bandwidth and quality factor in the resonant condition for a given circuit. Now over here, we have considered a series circuit which consists of R, L and C. The supply is the fixed voltage V while F is variable. We have got the variable frequency supply. The voltage across the resistance is VR, the voltage across the inductance is VL, and the voltage across the capacitance is VC. Now, if I try to draw the inductive reactance with respect to frequency, then you say that XL is equal to 2 pi FL. This means as the frequency increases, the value of XL will increase. So it is a straight line curve. So this is your X variation of the inductive reactance with respect to frequency. As you go on increasing the frequency, the inductive reactance goes on increasing. But what about the capacitive reactance? The capacitive reactance is given by 1 by omega C, that is 1 by 2 pi FC. Okay, this means that when the frequency is 0, the capacitive reactance is infinite, and as you go on increasing the frequency, the value of the capacitive reactance reduces. Now, before we'll take this over here, the version of the capacitive reactance on the negative side, because the two voltages across the capacitor and the inductance, they are opposing in nature, because the current is the same, but the voltages are in opposition. When a current I is flowing in this given circuit, the voltage across the inductor will lead the current by 90 degrees, while the voltage across the capacitor will lag the current by 90 degrees. So that representation over here we have shown as positive and negative for the inductive reactance and the capacitive reactance. So that's the reason I have taken the capacitive reactance as the negative side. Now this is your 1 by X curve of the capacitive reactance. So when you go on changing the frequency and you have got the variation of XL and XC, the reactances of inductance and capacitance as changing. So there will be one point when your inductive capacitance, the inductive reactance will be equal to the capacitive reactance. That is, at this point, you are having XL is equal to XC. So that special point is known as the F0 or the FR condition, that is the frequency at which your inductive reactance is equal to the capacitive reactance is known as the resonant frequency. Now, why it is resonant frequency and how it is important, that we'll try to understand over here. So, when XL is equal to XC, you can say that your omega L is equal to 1 by omega C. That is, this is your special frequency, so we'll represent as omega 0, and therefore omega 0 will be equal to 1 by under root LC, or you can say that F0 is equal to 1 by 2 pi under root 1 by LC. So this is your resonant frequency. Now, if I try to calculate the impedance of the given circuit, the impedance of the given circuit is given as Z is equal to under root R square plus XL minus XC whole square, that is the resultant reactance whole square. Now, because XL is equal to XC, this means this reactance term will be equal to 0. Therefore, Z will be equal to R at F0. So at resonant frequency, your impedance is only equal to the resistance of the circuit. The inductive reactance and the capacitive reactance, they cancel each other, and only the resistance is, resultant impedance is only the resistance of the given circuit. This means that at resonance, the impedance is minimum and it is resistive in nature. Why minimum? Because at anywhere greater than F0, the inductive reactance will be more, and for less than F0, the resultant capacitive reactance will be more. Hence, there will be some magnitude of the reactance and the resultant impedance will be more. So, another conclusion is, that is the circuit at resonance is having the minimum impedance. The circuit impedance is minimum at resonance. So first thing we said is the circuit is, just a moment. We have defined F0, the resonant frequency is given by 1 by 2 pi under root 1 by LC. The second thing what we define is Z is equal to R, and Z is minimum at resonance. Now, the third thing which we'll be defining is, because Z is minimum at resonance, therefore the current will be maximum. Now, how do you define with respect to the frequency? If I define, this is the resistance curve, because resistance doesn't change with frequency, so resistance will be constant with respect to frequency. Now, if I define the current, so first we'll draw the impedance. The impedance will be minimum at resonance. This is your impedance curve. Impedance will be minimum at resonance. Below resonant frequency and above resonant frequency, the impedance is more, and at resonance, this is equal to R. The current is given by I is equal to V by Z. So the current will be, impedance is maximum over here, therefore the current will be minimum over here, and it will go on increasing. At resonance it will be maximum, and again it will start decreasing. So this is the current waveform. So we have drawn the graph of current and impedance also with respect to the frequency, because at resonance the impedance is only equal to the resistance value. This means that the impedance is minimum at resonance, the current is maximum at resonance. Now, because the circuit impedance is only equal to resistance, this means that the voltage, this applied voltage will be in phase with current. And what does this mean? If the applied voltage is in phase with current, this means the power factor at resonance is unity. The power factor at resonance is unity. Now, because at resonance we had started with the equation as XL is equal to XC, if the two reactances are equal, the current is the same through the circuit, so the voltage across the inductance will be equal to the voltage across the capacitance. But this voltage across the inductance and the capacitance will be much greater than the supply voltage. We'll try to understand how it is. So the voltage across the inductance will be given as I into XL. And what is XL? XL is nothing but 2 pi, because we are talking about resonance, so 2 pi F0 L. Now what is F0? That is the resonant frequency, which can be written as I into 2 pi into the resonant frequency is 1 by 2 pi under root 1 by LC into L. So you can write this equation as this I is equal to at resonance, because impedance is only equal to the resistance. So instead of writing as B by Z, we'll write this equation as V into R, and this equation will become as, because this has to be implied, so this becomes as L and we'll cancel out, and this will be equal to 1 I into under root L by C. Okay. Under root 1 by LC, this will cancel out with this L, and you'll be left out with 1 by into under root L by C. So under root L by C, V by R, this is the voltage across the inductance, and the supply voltage is only V. Therefore, the voltage across the inductor is much more than the voltage across the actually supply voltage, because that is termed as the quality factor. The voltage magnification is termed as the quality factor of the given circuit. This means that the voltage across the inductor or the capacitor will be much more than the supply voltage. This means that there is a voltage magnification taking place. So in series circuit, the next important characteristic is that is there is voltage magnification in the given circuit. Okay, so what are the things we have discussed? I'll just try to summarize those points. Summary is that is at resonance, your inductive reactance is equal to the capacitive reactance, and when XL is equal to XC, the resonant frequency can be given as 1 by 2 pi under root 1 by LC. At resonance, your impedance is equal to resistance. This means the impedance is minimum at resonance. Because impedance is minimum, hence the current will be maximum. That is equal to V by Z, or is equal to V by R. The applied voltage, because the circuit is only resistor, hence the voltage will be in phase with the current. That is, the power factor will be unity. At resonance, because XL is equal to XC, hence your voltage across the inductor will be equal to voltage across the capacitor. And the voltage across the inductor or the capacitor will be much more than the supply voltage. Hence, their voltage magnification is taking place under the resonant condition. So, this voltage magnification is defined as the quality factor. Quality factor is defined as the voltage magnification. That is, what is the voltage magnification? The voltage magnification can be given as voltage across the inductor divided by the supply voltage. or the voltage across the capacitor divided by the supply voltage. What is the voltage across the inductor? That is equal to I into XL. Voltage across the capacitor, supply voltage can be given as I into R. Therefore, or the VC can be given as I into XC divided by I into R. So it can be written as the voltage magnification or the quality factor is equal to XL by R, or it can be written as 1 XC by R, and these two terms are also equal. That is, XL is nothing but omega 0 L by R, or it can be written as 1 by omega 0 C by R. Or you can replace the omega 0 in terms of the 1 by LC under root LC into L by R, or this can be written as 1 by R under root L by C. So this is the quality factor of the given circuit, or this can be also written in terms of the individual reactances. The quality factor of the given circuit is XL by R or XC by R, because at resonance they both are equal. So we can say that it is equal to XL by R or XC by R, and that XL can be substituted with the resonant frequency, and we can make it independent of the frequency, and the quality factor can be defined in terms of the circuit parameters as 1 by R under root L by C. Why is this expression important? Because we can define the quality factor of the given circuit independent of the supply system, and it's only dependent on the circuit parameters. So with the help of the circuit parameters also, they can define the quality factor of the given circuit. Now, after we define the quality factor, we have got one more term that is known as the bandwidth. And that is an important term, because now we'll take only the variation of the current with respect to the frequency. Suppose this is your peak current at resonance, because we have seen that the current is maximum at resonance. If this is your I max, then there will be a point where the power will be half the given value at the resonance, because if the current is maximum over here, suppose I represent this current as I0, therefore the power consumed at resonance can be given as I0 square into R, because power consumed is I square R, the current is I0, hence the power consumed at resonance will be I0 square R. We defined as when the power consumed is half the power consumed at resonance, those frequencies as half power frequencies. That is, at F1 and F2, the power consumed will be equal to I0 square R by 2. That is, whatever power was consumed at the resonant condition, at F1 and F2, the power consumed will be half of that. So these F1 and F2 are known as half power frequencies. Half power frequencies. And the range of the half power frequency is known as the bandwidth of the given circuit. Okay, the range of the frequencies, that is upper, this is because this is on the higher side of the frequency, so the F2 will be known as the upper half power frequency, and F1 will be known as the lower half power frequency because this is below the resonant condition. Hence, this will be known as the lower half power frequency. The difference of the upper half frequency and the lower half frequency is defined as the bandwidth of the given circuit. Now, what does this bandwidth mean? This bandwidth means that within this range of the frequency, the power consumed in the given circuit will be minimum half the frequency, half the power, and it can go up till the maximum power consumption. That is, the power transfer to the load will be from 50% to the 100% of the power that can be consumed by the given circuit. So if you say that this is half power frequencies, so what is the current value? The value of the current will be, over here it is I0. So at half power frequencies, the power consumed by the circuit was I0 square R by 2. So that I0 at resonance is V by R. So at half power frequency, if you take this under root of the given formula, the current will be I0 by root 2 at half power frequencies. At half power frequencies, because the current has to be reduced and this current will be equal to I0 square by root 2 because R remains constant. So when you take the under root of I0 square by 2, this becomes as I0 by root 2. Now I0 by root 2 is 0.707 I0. That means at half power frequencies, your current is 70% of the current at resonance. The current is 70%, 70.7% to be exact, as the current at resonant condition. Now, why this term is important is because this gives you a range of frequencies within which you can transfer power to the load as maximum. Now we'll try to have a derivation for the bandwidth. To derive the equation for the bandwidth, we'll again start with the impedance at half power frequencies relate to the power term, that is power consumed at resonance is equal to I0 square R, and the current I0 is nothing but V by R. So the impedance at the half power frequencies will be given by impedance at half power frequency can be given as, because at resonance it is just equal to R, but at any other frequency it will be equal to R square plus XL minus XC by whole square. Now because it is a square term, so both the F1 and F2 range, the magnitude will be the same and it won't differ. So you can say that at half power frequency, the current is given by I0 by root 2, which is equal to, because I0 is V by R, so we can write it as V by under root 2R, or by the impedance at half power frequency, we can write as V by Z, that is under root of R square plus XL minus XC whole square. This means we can write it as just taking the denominator of these two, because V and V will cancel out. We can write it as root 2R is equal to under root of R square plus XL minus XC whole square. Taking a square on both sides, you can write it as 2R square is equal to R square plus XL minus XC whole square. Or we can write it as XL minus XC is equal to plus minus R. That is, just arrange the equations. XL minus XC whole square will be equal to R square, and we take the under root, that will be plus minus R. Now, we know that XL can be written as omega L. So, omega L and 1 by omega C XC is equal to plus minus R. Just rearrange these equations and you will get in the form of quadratic equation as omega square minus plus R by L omega minus 1 by LC is equal to 0. Now, this can be written as 1 by LC can be written as omega 0 square. So, this equation becomes as omega square minus plus R by L omega minus omega 0 square is equal to 0. So, this is nothing but a quadratic equation. And so, when you solve the quadratic equation, the roots of this equation will come as, I'll just rewrite this equation. The equation is omega square minus plus R by L omega minus omega 0 square is equal to 0. So this is in terms of omega, the quadratic expression, and when you want to find out the roots of omega, we can write it as the two roots will be equal to plus minus R by L plus minus under root of R by 2L whole square minus plus omega 0. Now in the given equation, because this is your resonant frequency and this resonant frequency is quite a large number as compared to the R by 2L term. Therefore, when it is a square of omega 0, this means the term is still larger, while the smaller term will be still reduced to a quite small value. This means we can neglect this value, and after neglecting this, we come to the expression as plus minus R by L and plus minus omega 0. Because when you neglect this term, this becomes as omega square and you will be only left out with, R by 2L over here, R by 2L, and this will be this expression. Now because the frequency can't be negative, hence the expression finally changes to R omega 0 plus minus R by 2L. This means omega 1, which is corresponding to the lower half frequency, lower half power frequency, that will be equal to omega 0 minus R by 2L, and omega 2 corresponding to the upper half frequency will be omega 0 plus R by 2L. So when you subtract the 2, omega 2 minus omega 1, you will get it as, subtract the 2, omega 2 minus omega 1, so you will be left out with R by 2L plus R by 2L. This means it will be R by 4L. Okay. Now, let's write it in terms of the frequency. So over here, this corresponds to frequency as omega 0, that will be converted to as F0 minus R by divided by 2 pi, you will get it as 4 pi L. F2 will be equal to F0 plus R by 4 pi L, and the bandwidth will be given as F2 minus F1 as R by 2 pi L. This will be omega 2 minus omega 1 will be R by L. And over here, in terms of radiant frequency, the bandwidth is equal to R by L. In terms of the normal frequency in hertz is given by R by 2 pi L. Now, when we have got these terms, we can define one more term as when you multiply the two values, that is omega 1 into omega 2. When you multiply the two terms, what was omega 1? Omega 1 was omega 0 minus R by 2L, and omega 2 is omega 0 plus R by 2L. This means it is A square minus B square formula. So it will be omega 0 minus R by 2L whole square. Again, because this is a much smaller term as compared to omega 0 square, hence it can be neglected and we can write at omega 0 square. So omega 0 is nothing but under root of omega 1 into omega 2, or F0 can be given as under root of F1 into F2. So this is one more expression we have got it, and these are the expressions over here. So this is the bandwidth of the given circuit, and you can find out how the circuit behavior is at resonance and the bandwidth. Now just concluding the lecture before this peak I0 is nothing but V by R. If the value of R is more, then this curve will be flattening. And if the value of R is lesser, then I0 will be having its peak, and this will be a very sharp curve. So when the value of the R is more, in that case, the bandwidth will be large. And when the value of R is less, then the bandwidth will be less. So if the bandwidth is less, that can be used in tuning of the circuit. And if the bandwidth is more, you can use it for the better response of the circuit for a wide range of frequency. This is known as the sharpness of the curve dependent on the resistance of the given circuit. So if the value of the R defines whether this graph of the current will be flat or it will be sharp. That is the resistance dependent term, and the current will be dependent of the maximum current is only dependent on the resistance of the given circuit. If the value of R is very less, this will be just like a peak value for a very small moment, and the bandwidth will be very less. So that is the effectiveness of the resistance in the circuit for the resonance condition. Now below resonance, the value of the capacitive inductance is greater than the inductive reactance, because your inductance reactance is 2 pi Fl and this was equal to 1 by 2 pi Fc. So as the frequency increases, the Xc reduces and XL increases. So below the resonant frequency condition, when XL is equal to Xc, below this value, the capacitive reactance is more. Therefore, the circuit will be in the capacitive nature and the current will be leading the voltage. And if the circuit is behaving as an inductive, that means beyond the resonant frequency, beyond this resonant frequency curve, if the frequency is more than the resonant frequency, the inductive reactance will be more than the capacitive reactance, and therefore the circuit will behave as inductive circuit, and the current will lag the voltage by the given angle depending on the resultant reactance. So we can say that below resonant frequency, the circuit is capacitive in nature and the power factor is leading. And above the resonant frequency, the circuit is inductive in nature and the power factor is lagging. And at resonance, the power factor is unity. Okay, thank you. I don't want to discuss about any numerical over here as such, because the numericals are just formula dependent. So if you remember the formulas, you can solve the numericals. I'll just try to compile the formulas over here. That is F0, the resonant frequency will be given by 1 by 2 pi under root 1 by LC, or in terms of radiance frequency, it will be given by 1 by under root LC. Then we did the quality factor. The quality factor was given by XL by R or XC by R, or you can write it as omega L by R or 1 by omega CR, or it can be also written as independent of the given frequency, and it will be only dependent on the circuit parameters, that is equal to 1 by R under root L by C. Then we have defined the bandwidth, or the bandwidth is F2 minus F1, that is given by R by 2 pi L, or omega 2 minus omega 1. In terms of the radiance frequency, it will be given as R by L. Or if you want to calculate the lower half power frequency and the upper half power frequency, F1 is equal to F0 minus R by 2L, and F2 is equal to F0 plus R by 2L. Then one more relationship we try to derive between the bandwidth and the resonant frequency. So resonance frequency can be given by F0 is equal to under root of F1, F2. So these are the different equations we have tried to derive it over here. And under resonant condition, we have defined the different characteristics. At resonance, you have got the inductive reactance is equal to capacitive reactance. The voltage across the inductor will be equal to the voltage across the capacitor. The impedance is equal to the resistance. The impedance is minimum. Current is maximum at resonance. And power factor is unity. And at resonance, there is voltage magnification, that is known as the quality factor, VL by V or VC by V. So these are the different things we have studied today at resonant condition, different equations. So you'll be able to solve the numericals based on this. Thank you.